But first up on the show, it's day 19 of the Israel-Hamas war, 19 days of absolute mayhem. And things have not gotten any better. Israel has intensified its attacks on southern Gaza. The Israeli Defense Forces say they are preparing for a ground invasion, while the diplomatic standoff is looming over the United Nations. This report in the Times of Israel says the IDF believes it's ready for a Gaza ground offensive and it should start soon. Despite international pressure, the Israeli Defense Forces believe that in order to attain the Israeli government's stated objectives, the military must begin its ground offensive in the Gaza Strip. The report further adds that there are 16 days of airstrikes. The IDF believes it is ready to achieve the goals it set out for, even at the risk of heavy casualties.
The IDF is ready for ground operations and will take a decision together with the political echelon regarding the manner and timing of the next stage. We are conducting a war. At this stage, there are tactical and strategic factors that give us more time to improve and take advantage of every minute in order to be even more prepared.
So why then is Israel delaying its offensive? Well, the answer depends on who you ask. The Arab media state it's because Israel does not have an exit plan after it enters Gaza. The Western media says it's because Israel is being restrained by the United States, that America is putting pressure on Israel to not invade Gaza. Whatever be the case, the offensive stands delayed. But the fighting continues. Look at the footage we're showing you. It shows the IDF striking Hamas targets in Gaza. These strikes were carried out on Tuesday. The IDF says it destroyed tunnel shafts, military headquarters and weapons warehouses of the Hamas. These images show Palestinians sheltering in Khan Yunis Red Crescent headquarters that is filled with people who had fled the Israeli attacks in the region. The strikes that injured and killed several people and caused extensive damage. The attacks from Hamas's side have also not stopped. Last evening, the group launched an attack on Israel from sea. The footage shows the idea of stopping the sea attack and people being shot at. As the exchange of fire in the region escalates, civilian enclaves, residential buildings, hospitals bear the mark of this bloody conflict. Back in Gaza, desperate Gazans are turning to alternative methods of transportation to move a body to a cemetery for burial, as they struggle to use cars due to the fuel shortages. Relatives of this man, who was killed in a building collapse, loaded his body onto a donkey-drawn cart and sat alongside him as they made their way through a crowded street. In Khan Yunis, Gazans are standing by as an excavator works to remove rubble from the site of an Israeli airstrike on a complex. The eyewitnesses said they had never seen anything like this.
I am telling you, we were at home when suddenly we found what seemed to be like a barrel bomb. This was no ordinary rocket. We haven't heard of anything like it before. As you can see, everything is gone. Innocent people died, including children and women. This is Israel's goal, to kill the innocent and women and children.
While bombs barrel down Gaza and families rush to find medical aid, the UN says it will have to shut down relief operations by the end of the day as vital supplies run short.
We think it's necessary to send a surgical team and humanitarian volunteers to Gaza. Therefore, we will quickly coordinate with the Foreign Ministry and Indonesian Embassy in Cairo to facilitate this.
Meanwhile, Lebanon's Hezbollah group has also met with top leaders of the Hamas and Islamic Jihad to discuss ways to achieve quote-unquote real victory for the resistance. Back at the United Nations, its chief Antonio Guterres says he stands firm on his remarks about the Hamas attack. At the same time, he added, the horrendous attacks cannot justify the collective punishment of the Palestinian people. While in the Vatican, Pope Francis has renewed his calls for the release of hostages held by the Hamas. He has also called for humanitarian aid to be allowed into the Gaza Strip. The International Monetary Fund has also issued a statement. It says the war between Israel and Hamas is already battering the economies of the nearby countries. and adding that the impact is already evident on those countries like Egypt, Lebanon and Jordan. And lastly, the war is also playing out in other countries. Take Syria, for instance. It claims that an Israeli attack has killed 9 soldiers near its border. 7 more have been wounded. We're waiting more details. And that's not all in this story. And according to reports, the Israeli forces have shut down the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The reports claim that the Muslim worshippers have been stopped from entering the mosque. This has been revealed by the Islamic Waqf Department. The Muslim endowment is in charge of the holy place. It claims that the Israeli police abruptly and in a surprise move shut down all gates leading to the walled holy compound. That's not all. It even prevented Muslims of all ages from entering the mosque. The group has added that Israeli forces had tightened entry into the mosque since morning and has only allowed the elderly to enter. However, this quickly changed to all worshippers of all ages being denied entry into the mosque. For the unversed, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is the 3rd holiest site in Islam. And according to Muslims, it was here that the Prophet Muhammad miraculously got transported to Mecca one night. If the reports are true, then this will be the first time that the mosque has been completely closed to all Muslims. What's worse are claims being made by Palestinians. They say the Israeli police is allowing Jewish worshippers to enter the compound and hold their rituals, but stopping Muslims from doing the same. And well, now on to the next major development in this war. Is Israel planning to flood the Gaza tunnels, the network of underground tunnels built by the Hamas? And according to reports, Israel is considering flooding Hamas's underground tunnels before it launches the ground operation. The claim has been made by the Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Seymour Hersh, the same journalist who had blamed Ukraine and America for bombing the Nord Stream gas pipelines. This is what he said this time. He said Israel is now in the process of turning Gaza City into rubble via constant bombing and is also planning to begin a ground invasion in the near future. Such an act could mean that Israel was prepared to write off the hostages still in jeopardy. We cannot vouch for the authenticity of these claims. That said, Seymour Hersh has a reputation of getting inside scoops, so his claims are bound to be taken seriously. Earlier, the American journalist had claimed that Israel intends to turn Gaza City into Hiroshima, only that it won't use any nuclear weapons. He claimed that the Israeli forces could use American guided weapons and bombs which can penetrate to a depth of 30 to 40 meters before exploding and can destroy the Hamas's underground facilities for the production of weapons. Now, he has claimed that Israel plans to flood the Gaza tunnels. Do his claims actually hold merit? Well, only time can tell that.